entire prosecution against Donald Trump. I mean, mainly for calling out Fani Willis, for calling out Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, and even Attorney General Merrick Garland. Now, I know what you guys are probably wondering. Why the heck is Merrick Garland a part of this conversation? Well, it's basically got a lot to do with the Department of Justice and their correspondence with these prosecutors, guys. So during this congressional hearing that was held just recently, Representative Matt Gaetz, he questioned Merrick Garland about the communications that they have had with a lot of these people. In fact, he sees it as an important piece of information because it looks like all of these prosecutors, they have one goal, and it's the same goal. The goal is to keep Donald Trump off the campaign trail and ultimately interfere with the 2024 presidential elections. Now, Merrick Garland, he could have just said no, but he didn't. He could have just said no. He could have said that, hey, these back and forth messages between the DOJ, the Department of Justice, Fanny Willis, Bragg, DA Alvin Bragg, and Attorney General Letitia James, they don't exist. But he couldn't. He couldn't do that, which is why a lot of analysts are now wondering, what was Merrick Garland trying to hide? Because this was the perfect time to push back on all of these different conspiracy theories and just kind of put them all to bed. But he didn't do that, guys. Now, the White House, they're working with these individuals to get Donald Trump. And they were pretty vocal about it. You know, Letitia James, she advocated, oh, I'm going to get Donald Trump. If I become Attorney General Letitia James, I'm going to get Donald Trump. DA Alvin Bragg, he pulled the same stunt. Oh, I'm going to get Donald Trump. They all did it, guys. Also, with most of Donald Trump's cases being paused at the moment, it kind of looks like their master plan didn't work. But of course, that doesn't stop the political prosecution of Donald Trump through other means. And we're going to get into that in here in just a second. But before we do, all I ask is that you take a second, hit the like button for the video. Totally appreciate you guys. You guys are phenomenal. Happy Tuesday afternoon rather. Thanks so much for subscribing, you guys. You guys are awesome. We've already got some folks coming into live. We got Jackie Shetter. We got John Ruglio, Kyle Cummings, Charlie Parker, William Jackson, 313. What is up? Rad Data 4. Awesome. So just recently, guys, it was decided that New York will strip the former President Donald Trump of another one of his rights. And I'm not talking about the First Amendment right. That has already been stripped by Judge Juan Merchan in an unprecedented takedown of Donald Trump's ability to speak and defend himself with the gag order. We're not talking about that one this one. We're at now, before we go any further, take note that right now they're actually talking about DA Fanny Willis at the beginning. But pay attention and listen very closely and tell me what you hear. Take a listen.
Legal spokeswoman for Trump, Alina Habba, joins me now in studio. Alina, I'm watching this unfold. This broke like right as we were coming on air. This woman is riddled with problems, and I'm not even a legal mind.
No, she's fallen on her fanny since the very beginning. There's the headline for tomorrow, well folks. Done. But, no, truly, I mean, number one, this has completely been a disaster. It was a fake case to start with. Her arrogance, her demeanor has been incredibly telling. It's very much the typical coordinated, as we know, as you mentioned earlier in your show, with the Biden administration move. They have these state DAs, AGs coordinating to take down Trump. Well, she just took herself down in the most public display of chaos and disgrace, frankly. So I'm not surprised. The case will not go forward before November now. We do have a stay, which is great. Our team did amazing over there.
Yeah, no, that was a fantastic, and I think they got all the evidence out, but like that judge works in the county that she works in, and he was up for re-election too, so I'm not saying anything, but I might be insinuating that there might have been some reason that he didn't eject her from the case. But right. And we were talking about this before. New York City Police Department, they are revoking, now that Donald Trump is convicted as a felon, they're revoking his pistol permit, which I think is a total stunt to throw egg in his face. What say you?
Yeah, I think that all of this is a PR stunt. They try and knock him down. They call up witnesses in trials that are irrelevant to have a good headline, to have a distraction. We've seen it time and time again. And I love the police. I know you do. We love our armed men and women that sacrifice for this country. And I don't blame them. They have to follow protocol. But what the problem is why did we get here? Why did we get to a point where a former president and the likely future president has now been admonished, has now been put in this trial that was a sham for something that nobody else has ever been convicted of, let alone tried for?
Yeah, total BS, guys. Total BS. So you heard it from Alina Habba. I mean, they're continuously pulling these PR stunts. And it's not just, it's not just New York. It's the Georgia case. It's the Florida case. It's Washington, D.C., guys. You guys are seeing it. Now, we all know that Fanny Willis was going to be on the losing end when she showed us just how arrogant she was in court, right? And, her behavior, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. And it's also, and the number of times she pulled the race card, even though the judge told her not to. And then, of course, several folks were like, why are all these black district attorneys and attorney generals coming after Donald Trump? Is there something that they're trying to do here? Is there some kind of message that they're trying to say? I don't know. But it's also for this reason as to why many suspects many suspect that she's actually got a lot of friends in high places, because it really doesn't, if you pay attention, guys, it doesn't seem to matter what the law is when we're talking about Fanny Willis. And it's like the rules don't seem to apply for her. And it's the arrogance that some critics are concluding that she's been working with the Biden administration all along. That she and she's probably also very connected and or protected by Attorney General Merrick Garland, which goes to show that the corruption runs quite deep within our federal government. Now, again, this is based off of criticism from experts that are connecting the dots. We cannot say for certain that any evidence has actually come out that confirms 100% yet that all of this is in fact confirmed collusion, but it certainly appears that way. Now, speaking of connecting the dots, some supporters, and that might be you, that might not be you. I know we all have different opinions and perspectives. Some Gregory Brown said Ron's subscriber number is 555. Is that weird to you? Is that a weird number that we have 555,000 subscribers now? Anyway, but speaking of connecting the dots, some supporters feel as if the goal after convicting Donald Trump is to take away all of his rights, not just his First Amendment right. Now, detractors, they're getting a little bit too comfortable calling the former president a convicted felon. What do you guys think? Do you think Donald Trump should be called a convicted felon? Or is this a perfectly fitting title for him? I don't know. I'm sure we have varying opinions out of all the people watching the show. But and if it wasn't enough to take away Donald Trump's freedom of speech, reports have just recently come out that they're taking away his guns as well. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard that, just a second ago, that they're planning to take away Donald Trump's gun permit, aka his pistol permit, gun license, his ability to carry, and this. The reason that they're revoking his license to carry, concealed carry a firearm is because he was found guilty of 34 felony counts. Now, I don't know if you guys support your ability to carry. I don't know if you support, the Second Amendment. But now is the time, guys. They're crossing the line. I mean, do you think they're crossing the line? It certainly seems like they are. And again, they're revoking Trump's gun permit because of these 34 felony counts. And some people say that this is common for felony convictions, but you got to realize, guys, this is New York. That's what you got to realize. Back in 2022, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, same guy who downgraded an armed robbery from a felony to a misdemeanor. To make matters worse, the suspect in the robbery was an ex-convict. But Donald Trump is charged over business records, freaking Excel spreadsheet document issues, you know? And for New York, it's enough to deprive the man of the Second Amendment. Do any of you guys find that to be fair? Not just for a former president, but for any U.S. citizen. Now, and I have to reiterate, former president, this is not some run-of-the-mill dude off the street. Now, this interview with Miss Habba, it's a lot longer, but she explained down the line as to why AG Merrick Garland avoided saying no to one of the questions from Representative Matt Gaetz. And this is about the question as to whether the DOJ was in cahoots with Fani Willis, with Letitia James, and with DA Alvin Bragg. I mean, heck, we might as well go ahead and throw in Judge Arthur Engeron into the mix as well. But Merrick Garland, he ran around the question as many times as he could, but basically did not confirm or deny any communication between them and these prosecutors. Now, the fear is that Donald Trump will win the 2024 presidential election. And if that happens, it's expected that a few investigations will certainly be put forth. Now, one of these investigations would be on Merrick Garland. Now, if he outright said no to this question from Matt Gaetz, well, he knows he's already going to be implementing himself. So he doesn't want to do that. This almost further proves my point. So he's just out there like protecting himself. So Merrick Garland said that it was a dangerous conspiracy theory to talk about the Department of Justice, the DOJ, communicating with prosecutors. But when given the opportunity, he wouldn't shoot down the said conspiracy theory either. So it leaves a lot of people questioning, what are you trying to hide here, sir? Like I said, whenever you ask a question, then there's a yes or no response expected, but you get a lot of dancing around, no clear-cut answer. You know there's something that they're trying to hide. And if we go to Florida, things aren't going so well for Jack Smith. In fact, Judge Eileen Cannon has expanded a hearing on whether the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith was unlawful and invalid. As a matter of fact, this hearing will allow Amici to argue before the court. Now, this includes federal prosecutors and Donald Trump's defense attorneys as well. So the argument being made against Jack Smith is that he's not even allowed to be doing what he's doing. Former Attorney General Ed Meese, he filed an amicus brief that argues that Jack Smith being placed as special counsel is in violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution. So they're violating the Constitution left and right. They're going above and beyond the call of duty to take away Donald Trump's rights. And where is the accountability here, guys? Like, the level of corruption is beyond measure. He was given this position, Jack Smith, he was given this position at a time when he was just a private citizen. So this means that if Jack Smith's appointment is found as an illegal transaction, then that could be it for the special counsel. Jack would be done. So it would also signal that Jack Smith has no authority to represent the United States in court. That would throw Donald Trump's case completely out, just completely dismiss it. Now, I'm going to continue to follow these updates for you guys. I'm going to watch them closely. But one thing is for certain, things are not going according to plan if they're really trying to take down Donald Trump. And I understand that, we're probably not all on the same page, or maybe not even on the same fence. But I do know that, as citizens of the United States, we deserve the truth. Let me know if you guys agree. I want to hear from you guys. Thomas Schwecker, let's see. The ninth ruled a felon does not automatically lose his gun rights. Interesting. If you are a convicted felon of nonviolent crimes and you get a lawyer and pay your fees, you can restore your rights. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Thomas. That is a very valuable bit of insight. Patricia Jones, thank you so much. Sally agrees. This should never have happened to Trump, according to Julie McCoy. What's going on, Fed Up Patriot? Let's see. I know this is a response to John Gardner, but open carry should be legal in all states. When corporate America started messing, splitting federal and state, and here we are. Let's see. I appreciate it, Will Cook. Thank you so much. Oh man, it's my left. Okay, thought my computer was going to sleep. Let's see what else we got in. Okay. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Catalia? We got Catalia in the house. Ever had a grown man with a full beard dancing with a nice dress? What? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Constitution says only that we have the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. Sure sounds like infringement to me. Pity that holds for Hunter Poo also, according to John Wilkins. Well, here we are, guys. This thing continues to unfold, and I'm going to keep you updated. I hope you guys appreciate the show, appreciate the updates and the insights, the research and time that goes into making these videos. I really do hope that you guys appreciate it. And I think you do. If you haven't already, please take a second. It's totally free. Hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure your notification bell is on. I got a bombshell for you guys later on the day. What's going on, Catalia? Love you too, and I'll see you on the next one.